The final episode of Season 3 delivered on the promise of another confrontation between Catherine Cowood and Tommy Leroyce, albeit perhaps not in the manner that most viewers had anticipated. Because each evil character had previously beaten the other person to a pulp with blood. The face-off was anticipated to be explosive and, let's face it, violent by fans. However, Happy Valley provided us with a confrontation between them that was intensely personal and ultimately provided Sergeant Cowood with the closure she so desperately required. Tommy had become somewhat of a burden for the evil Darius Nazik, who had reportedly given his brother the directive to, shall we say, eliminate him. However, the gas con and boot probably served as a hint when they realized their error at last. Tommy started the car to crash with a knife from the kitchen, allowing him to run away. After sustaining a number of terrible wounds and being clearly unable to access medical care, Tommy was aware that his time was running out. He thought back to the end of Season 1 and decided that he would rather die than return to jail because he was wanted. But this time, he went with a more emotional tactic. He broke into Ryan and Catherine's house, knowing it was empty, and looked through photo albums of Ryan and Becky, Catherine's late daughter, rather than trying to take Ryan and Catherine down in a canal boat. After that, he told Catherine that he had thought about using the gasoline can to set fire to the whole house, but that he had changed his mind after seeing how happy his son had been. Additionally, he has decided to grant her a pardon for keeping Ryan hidden. From his vicious assaults on PC Kirsten McCaskill, and of course, Ann Gallagher, to his abusive and degrading treatment of her daughter, Catherine gave a harsh summary of everything he had done, instead of allowing this almost martyrdom moment to somehow redeem him. Tommy insisted on channeling his rage internally rather than physically attacking Catherine Collusion, even though he did not like having his actual character exposed. It's anybody's guess why he did it. Whether it was because he was too hurt and helpless to help Ryan, or because he truly put his needs first. Tommy, on the other hand, was aware that the journey was coming to an end, and he desired to set himself on fire and end it once and for all. Catherine was able to finally let go of the pain she had been holding on to since her daughter's death thanks to the exchange. She gained the clarity she had been seeking when she came to the conclusion that Ryan was not his father, which was perhaps the most significant development, even though no one else would. Throughout his childhood, she and her sister Claire had consistently provided him with love and safety, and their influence on him was significant. During the trips to the prison, he met his father in person and made the independent decision to reject him and choose the love and loyalty of those who had raised him. Catherine had been carrying this burden throughout the show's 3 seasons, but in the show's final scenes, when she was at Becky's cemetery, she appeared to be carrying less of it. A text message informed her that TLR had passed away as she stood there retiring and getting ready to start a new chapter in her life. This seemed like the most appropriate way to deal with the situation because it was clear that none of them would survive. Without compromising her moral principles, Catherine Coward achieves her happily ever after. The situation regarding pharmacist Faisal Badi and educator Rob Hepworth was clarified in a brief conversation with Andy, Catherine's boss, the violent and coercive educator. Instead of being accused of murdering his wife, which he had not done, Rob had been charged with having lewd photos of a student on his phone, which he had manipulated and subverted. Catherine casually revealed to Andy that Joanna Hepworth's questionable diazepam came from Faisal Badi, a pharmacist who just happened to live 100 yards away from the Hepworths. She and Andy exchanged sly glances, indicating that Faisal's freedom would be brief and that yet another family would be destroyed. Thank you for watching, and if this is your first time viewing the channel, please subscribe by clicking the bell to avoid missing out. Latest TV recap videos,